Hello everybody. We are the DNA Maestros from IIT Guwahati and NCBS. And over the next few minutes, we're going to give you a short explanation about what we have done in preparation for BIOMOD 2012. To better understand our work, let us take the example of a popular superhero, Batman. Batman, also known as Bruce Wayne, is just an ordinary human trained in combat who uses a combination of technologies to protect his city. And it is this combination of technology that converts an ordinary Bruce Wayne into a being with extraordinary powers. Imagine Batman, who resides in Batcave, has to travel across Gotham City to rescue the victims of a fire, whose exact location is unknown. However, he risks being attacked along the way. As a result, Batman needs to use a vehicle to transport him safely across the city. Enter the Batmobile, one of Batman's most famous gadgets. This is the vehicle he uses to travel throughout the city. The Batmobile is equipped with a spacious interior, a thermal shield, a powerful engine, and also with a high-end ejection system. Assume that in this case, the Batmobile is modified to include a heat sensor, which works together with the ejection system. When the sensor response level is high, Batman is automatically ejected from the vehicle. Let's step back for a moment and see how this is similar to our work on a DNA-based transport system. DNA can act as a rigid rod up to the distance of 50 nanometers due to its stiffness length. Single-stranded DNA molecules can be attached to other DNA molecules through a specific molecular glue. Using these two properties, we can play Lego with DNA and build all sorts of architecture, for example, complex polyhedra. We have built an icosahedron. An icosahedron can be assembled from individual starfish-shaped DNA junctions called 5A junctions, programmed with sticky ends which can self-assemble to form two half icosahedra. Two complementary halves can then attach to each other to give a complete icosahedron. The icosahedron has some very attractive features. It has a maximum encapsulation volume for a given pore size, thus enabling the accommodation of a variety of molecular cargo within its internal void. Icosahedra have already been shown to encapsulate different kinds of cargo. But now, what we show is how to engineer into this nanocapsule a stimulus-responsive ejection system. A small molecule trigger or key can bind with binders or locks on the sides of the icosahedron and crack open the capsule to release its contents. As said previously, the space inside the icosahedron can be easily filled with external cargo using the process of physical encapsulation. The icosahedron carrying the locks, or aptamers, is loaded with its cargo, and when the two halves of the capsule come together, the locks fall in place. For the stimulus-responsive opening of the icosahedron, the best strategy to follow is strand displacement, triggered by a small molecule. The two ends of the lock are actually complementary to each other, and it's only when the key or the small molecule enters the picture that they actually join together. When these two ends of the locks join together, the lock folds into a three-dimensional shape in order to bind the key. In order to fold into this 3D shape, one of the ends of the lock that is engaged with the lower half icosahedron is peeled away and it joins its complementary segment in the upper half. With this happening at 10 sites simultaneously, the small molecule trigger cracks open the loaded icosahedron into its two constituent halves, releasing the encapsulated cargo. Now we see how the system is very similar to the Batmobile. Once in the Batmobile, Batman can travel safely around the city, searching for the location of the fire. Once he finds the fire, the high levels of heat cause the heat sensor on the Batmobile to trigger the ejection system. Batman is then ejected from the Batmobile, and then he can go about doing what he does best. Batman may have saved the day in the end, but one thing's for certain. Without the help of the Batmobile, Batman would have had a lot more trouble protecting the city. Using this improved vehicle just made his job a whole lot easier.